Welcome to Supersizing Bliss, the podcast where I, Toby Witte, read from my book Supersizing Bliss, How We Have Betrayed Our Homes and the Happiness We Seek. Here's the next chapter. The luxury of excess. Before we begin, we have to spend a moment and discredit single-family houses and understand them for the aberrations they actually are. The sooner I tell you the truth, the sooner you can consider how to do them right, if you decide to do them at all. If we were to respond honestly to the environmental challenges we are facing from the perspective of housing, we would decide to live in mixed-use and multifamily co-op buildings within mid-sized compact cities. The smarter choice would be multi-story buildings that house a number of apartments, offices, and ground-level retail spaces alike. If we were to address the often-cited housing crisis intelligently, we would opt for the same kind of compact urban surroundings. Instead of continuing to suggest the superfluousness of single-family residences, these multi-unit complexes could be co-owned by the inhabitants or rented out by its owners. If we were to do this, we could actually afford to be housed. We could provide one roof for a handful of households and not just one. We could consider one foundation for all, not one for each house. The math is easy. There wouldn't be any driveways and long runs of utilities for a single-use house. Instead, we would offer shared modes of transportation and shorter distances for our roads. The savings would multiply. In doing so, we would also enjoy the kind of vibrant, multicultural places of opportunities and interaction that tickle our need for culture and community. Compact tapestries of life could enrich us within animated urban centers. Then we might even have the chance to notice each other. We might be able to meet and be given the chance to understand each other's struggles and joys. We might have an opportunity to face our inequities and commonalities. Picture a city, if you will, with a tight network of state-of-the-art public transportation. Picture the grocery store, bakery, and cafe underneath the 10-story building that holds your apartment, your home. You can reach your place of work without a car and within a short commute. The same goes for cultural events and institutions. There would be a farmer's market on your street every Thursday and a street festival once a month. The architecture to provide the stage for this, as well as the infrastructure, is compact. It is shared. It has thus less negative impact on our environment than the endless sea of our suburban housing sprawl. In order to create a viable built environment that is not destroying our habitat, we have to build smarter. We have to use far less carbon fuel and produce less carbon dioxide and even reclaim some of it. We have to use renewable resources and sources of energy. Single-family houses in general do quite the opposite. They are by default more wasteful in their creation, their operation, their maintenance, and their inclusion in our infrastructure. Obnoxious as such, single-family houses manhandle themselves into being a luxury. To become as viable ecologically as a more compact living arrangement, they have to work that much harder to be successfully created and run. In order not to be environmentally more destructive, single-family residences are by default less economical. As homesteads, single-family houses tend to one person, one couple, or one family, and ignore our need for community, social engagement, and a cultural connection. Their extraction of the one unit of housing from the rest, their singling out, makes them a folly. They are a token of our undeniable narcissistic needs, our desire to be special, to be tended to be heard, and to be seen. Once we can admit as much, we might be able to agree we are truly creating and choosing them over more sensible options for the pure, unadulterated pampering of ourselves, for the luxury of a man-made environment that tends to our singular way of life, for our personal luxury of being. Let's admit to that. Let's own up to it. It is perfectly permissible to allow ourselves to indulge in the wasteful whimsy single-family residences are. That is, if we understand the pressure points of a culture and industry forcing us to contemplate the useless and discover the potential of doing it right. When you do, chances are you won't find a bakery within walking distance, but a quietude in its place. There won't be a 10-minute light rail ride to the theater, but maybe an undisturbed and unshared view of the mountain range. There won't be low mortgage payments for the practical flat, but real expenditure for features that are meant for you and you only. There won't be a leaking roof we all share into for repairs, but a bill you alone are responsible for. There won't be literal zero-carbon footprints from your front stoop to the grocery next door, but an immediate and quiet walk in nature. Single-family houses are a luxury. They are costly. They are asocial. They are impractical. They are nonsensical. They are an answer to the housing needs of only a few, those who are willing and able to admit and pay for the superfluous. Nonetheless, all of us should be offered spaces that are better designed, lest we accept the mediocre living standards offered by the housing units sold to us, be they single-family houses or apartments, owned or rented. Let's see if we can appreciate these considerations. Can we separate the qualities of a home from the house as an entity? If we are still asking to create a house, can we approach the task with the appropriate mindset and expectations? Let's see if we can gain a better understanding of how the houses we get to choose from or the precedents for our own creation come to be. And let's see if we can find an appreciation for qualities of space that can be applied to all physical forms of living, including townhomes, co-housing, or mixed-use buildings. However, we will continue to look at the single-family residence here specifically. I'm your host, Toby Witte, author of Supersizing Bliss, How We Have Betrayed Our Homes and the Happiness We Seek. Please go to supersizingbliss.com to order a copy of my book and find more information. When I don't talk to you, I design sexy, modern, sustainable homes in North and South Carolina and adjacent areas. Subscribe, leave a comment, and click on the links in the show notes.